Hey there! Today we're going to dive into something that, well, literally sits at the heart of so many homes in Falls Church, Virginia, and that's the chimney. And look, this isn't just about a pile of bricks and mortar. It's really about the unique history and the incredible mix of houses in the little city, and what all that history means for your home's safety and health, like right now. So let's just start with a really direct question for every single homeowner in Falls Church. Do you have any idea what your home's age is trying to tell you about your chimney? Because honestly, it doesn't matter if your house went up in 1920 or just last year. Its story, its construction story, is directly tied to the hidden health of your chimney. You know, the history of Falls Church isn't just locked away in some museum. It's literally built into the bones of your house. From its colonial roots all the way to the brand new homes we see today, the city's timeline is right there in your neighborhood, and especially in your chimney. Okay, let's get into it. Think of this as a tour through the different building periods of Falls Church. You see, each era had its own construction styles, its own materials, and that means each one has its own unique set of chimney challenges that homeowners are dealing with as we speak. We can really break down the city's housing into about 4 key eras. You've got the pre-war originals, a lot of them near the historic downtown. Then there's that massive mid-century boom that basically created so many of the neighborhoods we know and love. After that came the developments from the 70s to the 90s, and then, of course, the modern infill homes popping up today. Each one tells a completely different story. Let's start with the oldest homes, those absolutely beautiful pre-war houses that go all the way back to the late 1800s. I mean, these chimneys have been standing tall for over a century, which is just incredible. But it also means they've put up with 100+ years of fires, brutal winters, and, the slow, steady march of time. And when you really get a close look, you can see what a century of wear and tear actually does. We're talking about mortar that's literally crumbling away into dust, original clay liners on the inside of the chimney that are cracked from 100 years of heating up and cooling down, and damaged crowns, that's the concrete cap on top, that are just letting water pour right in. All right, moving forward in time a bit, let's talk about the post-war building boom. After World War II, Falls Church just exploded with brick colonials, ramblers, and Cape Cots. And these homes, they were built to last, with really solid masonry chimneys. But now, they're hitting 60, 70, 80 years old, and they're starting to enter a new phase where all that wear really starts to add up. But here's the thing about these sturdy, mid-century homes. Even the best-built chimneys start to show their age. The mortar joints begin to break down. Decades of fires have led to tiny little hairline cracks in the flue liners. And over all that time, the house itself might have settled a bit, which puts a ton of stress on the entire chimney structure. And these are not obvious problems you're just going to spot from your lawn. So the next big wave of building brought us all those townhome communities and single-family developments. And with those homes came a new kind of technology, prefabricated chimney systems. At the time, they were modern, they were efficient, but a lot of them are now hitting that 25 to 50-year-old mark, which, for many of them, is basically the end of their designed lifespan. And this is where a hidden danger can really lie. The metal parts inside these systems, they can fail long before the chimney even starts to look bad on the outside. That means there's a real risk of failure. It's so tricky because the part you see might look totally fine, but the system inside, the part that does the work, could be seriously compromised. Now, on top of the age of the house, there is another major force at play here in Falls Church and really all of Northern Virginia, and that's the weather. Our local climate, specifically that freeze-thaw cycle we get every single winter, acts like a relentless, invisible enemy to your chimney, especially the older masonry ones. So, what is this freeze-thaw cycle? Honestly, just think of it like a slow-motion demolition crew. Water from rain and snow gets into all the tiny little pores in your bricks and mortar. Then, when the temperature drops below freezing, that water expands with incredible force, literally breaking the masonry apart from the inside out. Here's exactly how it works, step by step. First, water gets absorbed. Second, it freezes and expands, acting like a tiny, powerful wedge. Third, that wedge action creates bigger cracks and pops out little bits of mortar. And here's the really damaging part. This cycle doesn't just happen once a season. It can happen dozens of times every single winter, year after year after year. Okay, so we've kind of laid out the problems based on your home's age and the climate. So now let's talk about getting proactive. We've put together a sort of chimney health checklist. Just a few simple but absolutely critical questions that every single homeowner in Falls Church should be asking themselves. First up, this one's for all the new homeowners. If you've recently bought a house, please listen up. This is crucial. The National Fire Protection Association. These are the folks who write the safety codes. They recommend a very specific, more thorough inspection. It's called a level 2, anytime a property changes hands. This isn't just a quick look up the flue. It involves using a camera to see the hidden interior. It is an absolute non-negotiable safety step.
Okay, this is a big one, especially for those mid-century homes. A lot of them have one big chimney structure that's actually doing 2 jobs. One flue for the fireplace and another for the furnace. And here's the key. Even if you never use your fireplace, the furnace flue still needs to be inspected, and the other way around too. A problem in one flue can absolutely affect the entire chimney.
And what if you've done some upgrades? A lot of older homes now have modern gas fireplaces or high-efficiency furnaces. But here's the question. Is the original chimney flue, the one that was designed for wood or oil, actually safe for these new appliances? An inspection is the only way to know for sure that the liner is the right size and in good enough shape to handle them safely. All right, so you know an inspection is key. But getting it done shouldn't be confusing or full of nasty surprises and hidden fees. Let's take a quick look at what a really straightforward, transparent approach to this kind of service should look like, so you know exactly what to ask for.
The idea behind flat rate pricing is just simple. You know the cost right up front. It doesn't matter if you just need an inspection to see what's going on or a full cleaning that includes that critical video inspection. There shouldn't be any sneaky trip fees or extra charges tacked on. It's all about making safety affordable and easy to understand.
But look at this number. 0. That's how much extra a comprehensive video inspection should cost when it's included with a cleaning. And remember, this isn't just a guy with a flashlight. This is the crucial camera inspection we've been talking about. It's the only way to spot those hidden cracks and crumbling mortar deep inside your flue. And just to put this into perspective for you, this is something every homeowner really needs to ask about. A lot of companies will bill that video inspection as a big, expensive add-on, sometimes costing an extra $150, even $250. The key takeaway here is to find a service where that essential diagnostic tool is just part of the standard package, not a pricey upcharge. Wow, okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the history of Falls Church homes to the science of winter damage and why a video inspection is so important. So let's bring it all together into a really clear, proactive plan for your home. So here it is, your simple plan for total peace of mind. 1. Schedule an inspection every year. 2. Insist on that video inspection, especially if your home isn't brand new. 3. Be smart about it and book in the off-season, like spring or summer, so you can avoid that crazy fall rush. And 4. Be efficient. If you can, knock out both your chimney and your dryer vent in the same visit. And that brings us right back to the final, most important question. After everything we've talked about, the age of your home, the decades of wear and tear, and that relentless freeze-thaw cycle, is your chimney really, truly ready to face another tough Falls Church winter? Now is the time to find out.